Framing a canvas panel is a little bit trickier than framing a regular canvas, and that's because there's nothing to really screw into, so you have to take a different approach. And today I'm going to show you 3 different ways to frame a canvas panel or a wood panel. Okay, the first way to frame one of these paintings is to buy a frame that's made for flat panels like this. So there's the typical frame, but there's a piece of wood here. They recommend silicone adhesive, and you just put a couple drops in each corner and you set it down in there and you let it dry. It takes like 3 hours to dry, then you're all set. And it's nice because your painting doesn't get covered by the edge of the frame. So that's the first way to frame a canvas panel. You can search online for plein air painting frames, and that's where I got this, was online. So that's probably the easiest way to frame a canvas panel. The next way to frame a canvas panel is just to use a typical standard frame. So this is a solid maple frame. I bought the sections and I assembled it, but you can buy one that's already assembled. And you just buy one that's the exact same size as your panel. This is 8 by 10 inches, and you just drop it in there. The way that you secure it to the frame is to use points. I have a point driver here. It's much like a staple gun. Make sure you wear your safety goggles when you do this. So if it's a larger frame, you might need 2 points per side, but since this is smaller, you only need 1 per side. It doesn't take very much time at all. And there you go, it's done. I've seen artists use nails to hold the painting in place, but that looks unprofessional. And the other advantage of using points is that they're flexible. So when you want to switch the painting out, you just bend them back. And that will allow you to pop out the painting. And then you can put in a new one. To hold it in place, you just bend them back down. And you have a new painting in your frame. The other way to frame a canvas panel is to buy a floater frame. This is made by Ampersand, and it's 8 inches by 8 inches. So there's the frame. Alright, so if I put my panel in there, it just drops to the bottom. So they give you some spacers. See, this is built for like a canvas. You could put a canvas in there and it'd be the perfect height. But I'm going to need these spacers. Comes with instructions. Picture hanging wire. Alright, so the thing about these blocks is that they're wider on one side than the other. So you have to figure out what side should be facing down. So it depends on how thick your canvas panel is. Now I think I need the taller side, so I'll flip it around. Yeah, that fits much nicer. So what you have to do, and this is probably the only downside of this, is you have to glue these blocks to the back of your painting. The thing about wood glue is it's actually stronger than the wood. I don't know if you ever busted off a piece of wood that was glued down. It will actually rip. It would probably rip some of this wood with it. But an alternative is to use silicone adhesive, because you can put that down on there and you could use a utility knife like this and cut it off, you know, or it might be able to peel it off without really ruining the wood. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this stuff. Alright, so I'll put a little bit on there. So you could probably eyeball this, but you know, you can also measure it. It's 1.5 inches and the painting's 8 inches, so that's 6.5. So it's 3 1/4 per side. I let the silicone dry overnight, and then I put the painting in the frame here. And what you want to do is take some of the cardboard from the packaging and you wedge it into the gaps around the frame. That will keep it secure while you turn it over. And you probably want to put down a cloth to protect your painting. And then you have to drill these holes. So put your safety glasses on. So you just screw these in. Then you take out the cardboard wedges. And that's pretty much done. Now you just have to put the mounting hardware on the back, and what you do is you want to measure about 1/3 of the way down the frame. This is 9 inches overall, so 3 inches. Make sure you got the right side up. They also include some rubber bumpers for the bottom corners. The final step is just to attach the wire. As you just twist it around a bunch of times. And then slip it back through the loop. They say you can cut it with scissors, but I would rather use a wire cutter. There it is, it's done.